Hey everybody, it is Stork of Stork Plays Games. I know it has been a while. I haven't put a video up. I've been very busy. Had some traveling for work, lots of stuff going on. So I haven't got to do a bunch of demos. I have got to play a bunch of games in between, a lot of impromptu game nights, so that was awesome. So I'm going to cover a lot of that stuff today and put that video up because I got a lot of good stuff coming out. I do have in front of me GKR Heavy Hitters again because I made an insert for it and I posted some pictures on social media, and a lot of people asked me about the insert and to do measurements and things like that, which is not really my style. I don't really plan things out. I just sort of throw them together and glue them, and hopefully it works out, and this one worked out pretty well. So I will position the camera over top. I'll pull all this stuff out and kind of go through it. So if you want to try to replicate that insert, by all means, go ahead. I'm sure you guys probably have better ones out there. And if you have a 3D printer, make something really awesome. Mine is foam core. So there's that. I've been working on painting. I've pretty much finished up my heroes for zombicide, and now I'm working on zombies. There's a few more things I'm gonna add to the heroes. So I'll show you guys those as well, and kind of where I am in that. And then I'll give you a little sneak peek at the game that I will start demoing on Friday. So that's coming up too. So let me tear into this, remove the camera, tear into this, and show you guys kind of my insert for GKR Heavy Hitters. The camera has been repositioned. Here's the box. You can see I have a yardstick here, so I'm going to try to measure some things as best I can. So let's take a look here. Inside the box, when you first open it, sitting on top I have the rules, and I have the board. Sitting on top of that I have the achievement board, and then it looks like this. So first thing, let's take a look up top. So this is the width of the box, which is about 36 centimeters. And it is by about 15 centimeters, a little bit bigger maybe, again. So these are the bases. Inside here I have this cut out, and there's no sides on it to save on space, so I could fit more things in here. So that just lifts right out because you have to take the bases out for the game anyway, so I started with those on top. Inside there I have a little section for the heavy hitters. Again, it's going to be the same width across, and then I made it the height of the tallest robot, which was the orange guy. At first, I'll pull this out. At first I did not have this piece on here. I added it just because to add some sturdiness to it. So and I did have enough space to do that, so that goes in there like that. These boards are in between that space there, and the dice are in there as well. So they just sort of fit in here, and I left a little wiggle room, and the dice kind of fall down in there as well. I do have deck boxes for every faction, and then the sponsor cards. So the deck boxes just go off to the side here. They all fit in like so, and you can see those. And then, as you notice, probably something a little different I did with my buildings. I did not kickstart it, so I don't have the plastic buildings. I had the cardboard buildings with the plastic tops. I actually glued them. I put some glue on the corners on the plastic top, then I ran a bead down the side where it connects, because I didn't like taking them apart and putting them back together and everything like that. I wanted to be able to put them on and off. As you know, in the game you're destroying buildings, so I wanted these to be as solid as possible, so I glued them. So that made it to where I had to make this insert because they weren't going to fit a hole like this. To fit this in though, you do have to do some maneuvering and flipping them back and forth because these plastic pieces are wider. So if you take a look here, and I would probably suggest cutting in a little thing here so you can get to them easier, a little notch. But as you can see, there's a little bit of room so I can get them out. Down in here, which I'm not sure if you can see or not, keep these like that. There's some little triangles I cut out, and this is just, has no sides on it whatsoever. It just sits on top. It sits on top of just like that. Just some pieces that I measured out the height of the robots, which is about, let me see if I can get this, a little less than 5.5 centimeters, something like that. I added this piece strictly for stabilization, that is all. This is it's about 21.5 centimeters all the way across, by about 28.5 centimeters all the way across there. And this is just free in here. These guys are just floating around. There were some other things that I tried at first to hold the bases in where they would like slide and pinch, and I might do that still on the heavy hitters, to where it would slide in and just kind of pinch and hold the heavy hitter a little more stable. I don't really think it's necessary, but it might just be nice. And then all of these are just individually bagged per color. So I have the green and the green, the yellow and the yellow. So each faction has 2 bags. The little dog, Glory Hound, is down in the bottom there with them as well. And they're just sort of honeycombed in there together, so you can kind of see that. So as I said, you can see all this and how it fits in there. These just sort of lay in there. There's definitely a better way you could organize that. I store all my games horizontally, so I don't really need to worry about them falling over, but if you store them vertically, you could probably put some things in there so they'd slide in and hold a little bit better. So let me show you just how to put it all back together and how quick that goes. So there's all my buildings back in. So yeah, these are kind of tight, so you got to make sure that's measured just right to fit all those guys, and you have to do that with them. Put our deck boxes, slide back in here. I did do, I don't know if I showed on another video or if I just posted pictures. I think I just posted pictures. So I did do clear sleeves on all the pilots, because there's words on the back. Clear sleeves on the support mechs, and then I color coded the sleeves with all the rest of the cards for each faction. So faction deck, I guess is what it's called. But feel free to do it any way you want. I just thought this was kind of cool because of the colors, and I could find the deck colors to match. Your player boards, if you have the Kickstarter version, you have the plastic ones. Again, I'm super jealous because those are awesome, and I really want them, but they won't fit in here with this insert this way, so you'd have to do something different if you have the Kickstarter version. But this one does hold every part of the retail version just fine. So put that back in there. Put this guy down. I did have to measure the height, so this and the deck boxes match completely. So if you're doing deck boxes, make sure you measure the height and make sure that they are the same. That way when you lay this across, it is flat and flush, and that it has enough room, because it does have enough room to just lay on top of the deck boxes. And the instructions, they can get smashed down a little bit for all I care. It's just instructions. Again, I know that's not the best way for measurements and things, guys. I apologize. I just sort of lay it out, and honestly there was like 5 different versions that I tried. At one point I had all the support mechs laying sideways and they were pinched in and holding, and there was like 2, and then the third one, so they were facing this way. They were in like a little box where you'd slide them into, and then I scrapped that idea and went with this. So there's probably a better way to do the support mechs and make them a little more sturdy and even take up less space, but when I measured it all out and realized I didn't need it, I just sort of put them in the bottom in that honeycomb. So that is heavy hitters. Let me show you my painting I've been doing on Zombicide. So I'm gonna move the camera. We'll probably freehand this one a little bit to show you the Zombicide, so I can show, or where I've been painting my zombies on Zombicide. So I'm sitting here at my crude little painting station that I have. It was the Army Painter. I think I covered that in a different video. It's an Army Painter paint station thing. Most of the stuff I have here is Army Painter. There's a few things I have that are not, because they just didn't have what I wanted in the Army Painter. But this is what I got going on. So here are my heroes. Let me see if I can get this. I'm using this little piece of paper from the Army Painter books as a palette. That guy's losing some gravel. So here's my guys. I don't know. Hopefully, let me back them up into the light a little bit more. You can see these. I tried to do a crackle base on it to have it as like pavement and asphalt cracking. It didn't turn out real great. So this is, sorry, I had to use my camera hand. There we go. So these are my heroes. They're pretty much done. I may put a little bit of grass growing up on those as well. Here's some of the zombies I'm working on. These guys I did in a base coat of green, so they're gonna come out. I gotta do a little bit more to these guys, but they're mostly done. The fatty here is gonna have green skin. I still need to shade all of these guys. My heroes have been shaded, and then I did an anti-gloss on them, but they're still kind of shiny. There's some runners I'm working on and different little like track suits. This guy's got an iPod down there. So I'm just working on a few of these. This is my next wave of guys I'm gonna do. I painted them with, I think, a bone primer. So they're different colors, so their skin's gonna be a different color. I'm trying to just do all the zombies in different colors. This is the Abomination guy, and I did him in this color because I wanted those spikes to be that color. And it's totally up to you. I mean, how you paint them or what color you prime them in, it doesn't matter. I don't think so. There's plenty of zombies in this game that you can paint them all different or all the same or however you want. But that's where I am with the zombies. I've got probably, let's see, minus this guy, 2 more sets of this size. So basically, take out these heroes and double what you see here. So I'm going to do them in different colors as well. I have some scaly hide here, so I'll probably do some of these guys in scaly hide. There we go, bony spikes. I think this is the same color as that. It might not be though. So that's where I'm at with Zombicide. So real quick, I want to talk about traveling and gaming. I was traveling for work, like I said earlier, and I just wanted to play some games. I knew I was going to want to play games while I was stuck in a hotel for a week. Before that, I actually went 2 days, was stuck in a hotel for a soccer tournament with one of my kids and my wife. So, you know, I was just like, what can I take? You know, backpack size, take on the planes, take to the hotels, you know, whatever. So I'll be sitting around. So first thing I grabbed was Friday. It's a single player solo game, and I thought, you know, wherever I'm going, there's probably gonna be non-gamers I want to play. So always take a solo game is what I was thinking. So I grabbed this one. It's a really good game. It's super hard for me. I think it's so hard. It's such a hard game, but it is pretty good. I played it a few times while I was in the hotels. So if you haven't checked out a solo game, if you want to get into solo gaming, this one's a pretty good one to start with, I think. Again, it is very hard, but that's, I think, what keeps you coming back. So I had Friday. Normally when we're traveling wherever we go, I take Love Letter. It's a real small game. You can actually even take it out of this box. And there's a little, this version doesn't have it, but most of the versions come in a little velvet bag. And all you need is these cards and these blocks. I mean, that's all you need. So you can put this in anything tiny and take it with you. It's also a very easy one to teach. So I take it, especially when I'm going to be around non-gamers, because I can just show it to them very easily. Another one that I really like is Hanabi, or some people call it Hanabi. I don't know. I call it Hanabi. I don't know if that's right or not. I don't really care. As long as I care about, all I care about is that the game's good, and it is. One great thing about this one is it's a team game. So when you're teaching games to non-gamers who haven't played games before, you guys are working together. So it's really fun. This one was very popular amongst the people I was playing with. I had, again, I was on a work trip and I was in the hotel lobby every night just kind of playing games, and people would sit down and play. This one was really popular. It plays up to, I think, 4. I think it should say on here. It does. 2 to 5. Plays up to 5. So you could get 5 with this one. This one only plays up to 4. So depending on how many players we had was this one. Now the gem of the entire trip, and the one that got countless people to sit down and play. These are non-gamers. They don't ever play games. They don't know anything about games, pretty much. Their extensive games are Candyland, Monopoly, things like that. Whatever they can see on the shelf at Walmart. But I was like, try this game out. Little Drop of Poison. If you haven't played it, I would highly recommend it. It plays up to 8, 3 to 8 players. It is so easy to teach. It's in my how-tos. Watch that one. It is inexpensive. The retail on this is $12.99. It plays very fast, generally. I mean, there can be long games, and we had a few, but every night people were coming down. Can I play the game? Can I play the game? Can I play the game? I wish I had brought 2 decks of it, because we had so many people constantly wanting to sit down and play the game. It is so fun. The game sells to non-gamers. So everybody who I played it with was like, where can I get this game? Where can I get this game? And they're looking online and trying to find it. And one thing that I always tell everybody, and I definitely recommend, the later editions of this have now with antidotes. The game is fun regardless, but the antidotes, I think, really add to the game. From what I understand, the first printing didn't have the antidotes in it, but you definitely want it with the antidotes. It adds a lot to the game. It's very, very good. So I went back home to my local game store, and I was like, you gotta get in Little Drop of Poison for me. Like, everybody I sit down with wants to buy it. Nobody can find it. There's a few on Amazon. It's hard to tell. Some of the pictures have this now with antidotes, some of them don't. So it's really hard to tell if they actually are right or not. So I don't know. But regardless, the game store, they had played it up there with me, and so they'd been trying to get it in. So they just got 4 copies in and sold all 4 today because the people who I played with bought them all, and they're having them shipped out all over the country to where they live, because again, I was on a business trip. We were in from all over the place. So I met a ton of people that sit down and played games with me that I didn't know before, or maybe have talked to through work but not know anything socially about, but they really love this game. So I guarantee if I had more copies to sell that I could, because it is just a phenomenal, fun, quick, easy game. Everybody who played it, they wanted to play it with their friends and their families. It's easy, the kids can play. There's nothing bad about it. You're trying to poison, they're all rats and weasels. It's basically just a deck of cards, but it is a very, very fun game. So if you're traveling, this is what I took. I don't know, what would you take? That's kind of what I was wondering. So in the comments, feel free, leave me some notes, like, when you travel, what do you take? If I'm going, I'm going here in a few weeks on a trip. We're renting a cabin with a bunch of friends, and I'm going to take a bunch of heavier games, some big games, Azul, Space Base. I'm looking at my shelf, sorry. I'm trying to remember the games that my friends asked me to bring. So Azul, Space Base, Sagrada. They're not super heavy, but they're heavier than these, and they're a bigger box, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. So if you're traveling and you're wanting to take something really small, what do you guys take? So please leave me comments below and let me know. And so let's move on to what's coming next. So what is coming up? That was all what I've been doing. Well, most of what I've been doing, but what is coming up? Check this out. Thanos Rising, Avengers Infinity War. It is a co-op game. I will be doing an unboxing on it here in a minute, but right now I'm going to do a little plug for local game stores, and how I'm always telling you guys to follow me on Instagram. If you're in the Indianapolis area, come out to Saltier Games where I do demos. So wherever you are across the country, look for this poster or ask at your game store for the demo of Thanos Rising. I got some promotional stuff to give away. There's some buttons here that I'm going to be giving away, some little mini posters once I'm done with them, and some little postcards. And probably the most sought after thing of this game is these promo items here. Hopefully you can see those down there. Stormbreaker. So this is a promo item for Thanos Rising. I have a few to give away, and I'll be giving them away at my demos. So I'm going to get this up. My first demo is Friday. What is the date today? Today is the 15th. I believe Friday's the 19th. I should edit this out for my thinking, but today's Tuesday, so yeah, Friday should be the 19th. It's probably not, but it should be. So come out, Saltier Games. Follow me on Instagram at Stork Plays Games, so you can see when I'm doing these demos. Sometimes I have promo items. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. The store does demos. Sometimes they have promo items, sometimes they don't. You know, learn some games, have some fun, meet some people. I definitely recommend following myself at Stork Plays Games on Instagram. I recommend following the store if you're in Indianapolis at Saltier Games, or whatever your local game store is, and go out. You know, play a game, learn it, have some fun. I think this one is going to be really fun. I love cooperative games. Can't wait to do my unboxing video on this one. I'll have that up here shortly as well. So Thanos Rising is coming up. Zombicide, hopefully I'll have those zombies done painted, done painting shortly, and I'll be able to play that game. What's funny is I've only played it one player. I've played it a few times, but I played it solo, so I can't wait to play it with more people. GKR, I've got another game of that going on Thursday night here at my house, so I can't wait to do that as well. Great fun game. So thank you guys so much for watching, and come play a game with me.